Ho, ho, ho. I don't know what happened to our audio there, because I was thinking it's going to pick it up automatically. Anyway. Sibonge Mnxadana. Yes, benganothisa ngqondo. Anyway, it's fine. So, sikuleo lezo ntsuku zika Zwarte Piet. Mfoka Dlamini madoda. Angathi ngabuyela ekhaya. So, ukuze abuyele ekhaya kumfoka Zwarte Piet, I think I've explained ngoZwarte Piet before. Ukuthi lo muntu loya ilo muntu owasetshenzwa ngayo ukuthi kungenwe ebayeni zawo wonke umuzi wakwaMntu. Ubona nje kunamazwe anothe ngendlela exakayo ngazi ukuthi wona notha kodwa thina kwangacaca. Kodwa masuphenya ubheka ubhequlula uyathola ukuthi hayi man, labantu banotha ngokutshontsha kithi. So kusho ukuthi unalento yokuthwejula nithi nambe manisho lezinto zini. Nithi ukuthwejula inhlanhla. Nisho njalo, but it's more of ukuthi kwasetshenziswa umuntu. Indaba kaZwarte Piet noSinterklaas ilandele uzoyithola. Bese phinde futhi iyolinka nokuthi kunesonto lakhiwe phezulu komuntu ekuthiwa Peter futhi. Peter, Pete, two similar things. Nalo Peter lo okwakhiwe phezulu kwakhe lapha eRoma, you find ukuthi no waungathiwa kuumuntu othanda ukubamba isholo. That's another story, but I go through great lengths trying to explain the story of Zwarte Piet, the significance yakhe. So izibaya zethu nje zidliwa amanye amadoda engoba zasetshenzwa ngaleli gaza lendoda. Now I'm currently on a mission to find out ukuthi yini le eyenza ukuthi specifically him kube lula ukuthi basebenze through him. Sesike sahlangana naye imahlandla nje phela amaningi. Sijahani phela kanzima. Even met a clan because they seem to belong to a particular clan. Mangithi Dlamini angisho abantu bakwaDlamini, nina nibiza ngoDlamini. Angazi ukuthi nayithatha phi lento ukuthi Dlamini. Ukhona umuntu ethu uDlamini. Is what he said his name was. Asazike ukuthi labantu bakwaDlamini bayatshelwa ubani kunento ethi Dlamini. Ngoba they are not oDlamini bona. No, qhamuke Swaziland uzwa ulokhuzana uDlamini. uDlamini ithinto very interesting. Ngisazama ukuyiconsolidate kahle le information engiyitholayo and try to make sure ukuthi it's airtight. Ithinto uDlamini nalendoda le ewubaba wazothi umfowabo omdala kalo ekuthiwa ubani uMansa Musa wesibili. Ukhona lo wayeUMansa Musa uqala owahamba waduka nomkhumbi wangazi ukuthi ushona ngaphi. Kuze kusuka lo Mansa Musa wesibili instinct disconnected. Ngihlola ke le. Even sure if it's still streaming my thing. Ngakhuluma ngalento wacima ibandla. Wenzakala. Asiyakhala. Hayi. Ngelo wazi. I'm not getting any video feed now suddenly. Angazi sibanga no OBS. yangisabotage, but kulungile noma ngangibonanga. So yes, into ithi I'm very strongly suspecting ukuthi lo Dlamini lo nalo yamansa Musa, that family yaka Musa lapha lezayigwili zo2 lesi saduka sokuqala ngoba sahamba ngomkhumbi. If you follow the story, he left and then he was never found with his sheep. He just disappeared. Nabantu ayihamba nabo, and the gold he was carrying, what have you, was kusuka lo wesibili, who also went on another expedition to try and find him, and then he ended up go Khuzani, go Arabia ngesenamali ehambe phisana ngayo. They say wayehambe phisana ngegolide nemali ayiphethe uMusa lo wesibili. They say sazi-ke ukuthi abamkhuthuzanga yini, because there was a lot of thugs and thieves in that region. Europe namanje vele igcwele igebengu, so sazi ukuthi wayehambe eEurope babengambambanga nenkunzi, but they claim ukuthi he was so busy giving people money, hambe phisana nje wagcina efika engasenalutho, waboleka waphinde wayokhokha into njengaleso. Nobody knows the true story of what happened on the other side, because the story is being told by only one party, of course. But my strong suspicion about that one is that something happened there. Kodwa lo woqala-ke, who is the issue kakhulu. Now, the problem ukuthi mina I picked up a story sengisicosha right in Switzerland. Right there, there's a town in Switzerland that has like a central, what you call it, a secular town plan, like it's concentric in Dawa Yakhona. I'm not even sure what town that one is, but eventually I think I'll have to go to Switzerland and see. But kunedolojana lapha in Switzerland that seems to be very central, and yes, kwakhiwe ngamatshe phansi, cobblestones, imigwaqo yakhona, but there's something concentric, like a town square that has a concentric street layout. And I was taken right to the center of that town, and I was shown ukuthi on that structure abas erectile lapha that looks like a square, like a Mposhongo Amasondo. Yeah, that thing looks like an old church that has a very pointy thing. And I was shown, no, this is where they put his bones. And immediately mangiqeda lapho, I was shown ukuthi in the Alps there's a cavern, and in that cavern, that's where he goes and keeps all the riches. He goes around like uyisigqila esebenza nje ukuhamba isitshontsha kuzo zonke ibaya around the black race, and he's sitting on a heap of a lot of wealth. It's very interesting because this particular story, when you look at it, ithatha futhi ikhombisa something very similar to a leprechaun. A leprechaun to attend igolide, and they find gold, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I forget what's the other story, but something about very greedy creature that just hoards and hoards and hoards. Now it was a situation like that. He was hoarding, but there's a specific time where this Sinterklaas type of beings come and pick this wealth and go and distribute it amongst their children. Hence the story says Sinterklaas went into an expedition, wabuya esebuya with this black guy, bambizwa ngoswarte Pete, and This Zwartepit guy went around giving the European children gifts on Christmas. In fact, ukersfees lo ninini to Christmas wama Christians is not the same as kersfees lo wama Europeans actually. Remember again, the Swiss are a Germanic tribe. The Swiss, the Swedes, the Finns, the Germans, of course, the Belgians, those are all one tribe. Even the Celts. The Celts are also part of the Germanic tribe. You can do your own research there. So, laba to laba by sword, including those ones who were calling themselves the Romans back in the days. But anyway, that's another story for another time. But yes, so you will find ukuthi le mkhuba eyenziwe kakhulu yokuthakatha nokuthwebula umuntu omnyama. At the end of it, uzuthola a German. At the center, there's always going to be a German doing something. Now we wonder ukuthi, well, I guess maybe about 2023 we'll discover actually what is so special about these Germans. Never mind those ones who call themselves the Jews, because they are also just Germans as well. Those Ashkenaz, those are Germans. So one wonders. But abantu abazokona yonke lento ilaba abaga Romanov. Because it seems like those Russians, the Rus, they're not necessarily Germans, but they're related to Germans somehow, somewhere. But by law, there's a revelation ahead about Putin. We'll talk about it next year, but he's doing exactly what I saw. Very interesting. So yes, going back to this thing of Sinterklaas and Zwartepit. So uZwartepit uDlamini usebenza khona-ke lo msebenzi ukuthi ahambe ntshontsha la in all these families, every single household, ntshontsha. This is why I keep saying and explaining this thing over and over ukuthi this is why wena uzothandazela uMercedes namhlanje, umthandazela uMercedes sithi kusasa uzithandazela uMercedes for 15 years ungawutholi uMercedes. But every time you go uyothandazela uMercedes, ekuseni uyavuka umfana omlungu uyothenga uMercedes, ekuseni uyavuka intombazana omlungu uyothenga uMercedes, lo wena uthandazelayo. It's not a joke. Angisho ukuthi bazondeni, vele kodwa ngeke ngitshele lokho, niyabathanda, nibakhonzile, uNkulunkulu benu, but they live off you. Baphila ngegazi lenu. It's not even a joke, this one. So ilapho-ke indaba kaZwartepit. And I'm saying this because I have a task for you. Njoba kuyilesikhathi lesi, umhla ka-12 manje, umhla ka-12, 22. Nabo 2 laba bawu-4. Nithanda ama-angel numbers. Njoba ngumhla ka-12, I'm giving this instruction. Hambi ekhaya. Uzofike ugaye lobutshwala lobu besiZulu. You will make the brew, traditional brew. Now this is for everyone. I don't care who you are. If you're African, go and brew. Especially in Africa. You people know your traditional brews. Don't come and pretend. Ngihlangene nama-quads, ngihlangene nama, those pre-made things that you buy at the shops. No, you go and brew from scratch. A smaller nyana canvas, small thing. You do it. It doesn't have to be a lot. A smaller nyana thing. Don't make a fuss. But you brew this. And on the day of the solstice, kumhlaga 24, 25, 26, in those 3 days. So you brew this suela namhlanje. From now, from tomorrow, when you wake up, you go, you buy those socum things, you brew, you start your brew. Small brew. You will brew, you will vubela, you will strain, uhluze, wenze yonke into. Ubile. We are not going to drink it. the first thing you're going to do is, as soon as bubila, as soon as you have strained wabhluza wabvova amavovo, as soon as buvova, you take izinsipho. Take those nsiphos, sprinkle them in the yard at home. Just sprinkle them in the yard at home, especially there by where you know no one is busy running around there. Sprinkle it there, make it fertilizer for your grass. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, just, and then leave it, all of it, boom. And then on those 3 days, you are gonna do the thing that white people call libations. Bayazika bangapha ngenhla ko Igbo nakubani bani. They know this thing of libations. Ubutshwala bomchitho, where you are not going to be drinking, but you are going to be throwing out that booze. Now, when you are throwing out that booze, uzokhuluma phezu kwento ukuthi sithi uDlamini akabuyiswe, akabuyele ekhaya. Now, angifuni ukunichaza lento leni ifaka indaba yebongo zasemakeni in. It has nothing to do with your family, but it has everything to do with your families. So vele ke nonke ke nenkinga ke nje akekho la kunini ongenazo inkinga izinto ayihambi kahle washwacima. Now it's a problem of a nation. So this is a national solution. There's a black nation on the 24th, 25th, 26th. Siyavuka, especially on the 25th day. La twagdlala khona ilanga. Vukani ekuseni ke niyobuka ke ilanga lidlala ke. Yes. Ngalesikhathi nibuka ilanga lidlala ekuseni ngo-5. Yes, I think some of you remember as children we were told many times, "Hayi suke dlala ilanga, dlalela uJesu ekuseni." Wake up, go watch the sun playing there. While it's playing, you will pour this thing on the grass there or on the soil. Make sure it contacts with the soil. You speak blessings to the earth in your own mother tongue. You speak blessings to the children. You say, "Magabuye uDlamini," noma uDlamini magabuye ekhaya. This one will break the spell that was cast ukuthi lo akwazi ukuthi azonjonja la. And then we shall see a film with 2023 of what's going to happen with the international thing of economics. Kuzowa ama-economies anzima kakhulu, and it doesn't matter. Asinandaba, you take this thing, uthi kuyadlalwa, you don't do it, asingene. I know ukuthi some of us are going to do it. We're already on the mission vele, sesiqalile, including myself. So whether you people like it to do it or not, I'm just throwing it out there. Inselelo ngamabomu, because sometimes you just have to throw things out there and see if people are going to do the thing that is least. Uyakwenza ukunzima. Hamba nofuna igubhu, nihamba niyogengqeka phansi niguqela amanye amadoda eningawazi, niwakhotha iy'nyawo. So I'm not asking you to come here nizoguqa in. At the comfort of your own home, go do this exercise. Then we'll see if film idlala from 2023 onwards. In fact, if a lot of us do it, the film might be very instantaneous. We are not here to play. We are breaking curses. We are breaking a lot of spells that have been cast on our people. We're not going to defer it to the coming generations. No. We're not going to leave it up to the children to solve this mess. They will continue where we left. So let's start with the small exercise. Uzogaya utshwala kusukela kusasa. Lobo utshwala lobo ukhambo oluncane umancishana. Lo utshwala lobo awuphuzi. Insipho uyichitha phandle. Bese ngomhla 25 uvuka ubuka ilanga, uchithe utshwala bakho phansi, ubusise umhlaba. busisa izizukulwane ezilandelayo uDlamini makabuyisele ekhaya. Qedile. You move on with your life. Angifuni lonke izinto eningi. Not asking for 10 rand ben or 5 cent ben, what. This is something you can do. Ayingakhulumisi. Some of you will say, hey, manje mawuhlala phansi ekhaya nomzali. If you know ukuthi unabazali abaneyinkinga abakhuluma njalo, then don't do it. It's okay. But if you are comfortable at your own place, at your own house, then you can do it. Mawuhlala emaflatini. Because they always complain, hey, manje we live in the flats, in. If you live in the flats, then obviously you're out of the game. Okushuthi le mission wena you were not part of it. Awuzange usize ngalutho. It's fine. There'll be something else for you someday. Mawuhlala kwi-back room. Angazi ubufuna nje back room ngoba phela uDecember. Nemakhaya. So hambani emakhaya fike nenze le nto le. Uma ungawazi ugayisha utshela uma olate uthe olate ngicela ungenzele mama ncishana omncane. Ngifuna ucela izibusiso. Ningashiseki impepho ke lapha ngaze nibize ubaba beni bazoshisa impepho kanti banenhliziyo ezimbi. So nje let's keep it simple. Ingakhulumisi. Those who can do it, please do it. Those who can't, don't do it. It's fine. As complicate. We keep moving. It's been an interesting year, as I was saying. I mean, that was the main issue about this video. But ngifuna suvale kahle unyaka with a task. Izobonana ngomhla 25 emini nivuke ekseni. So it's been an interesting year, very interesting. Bona lapha ngo 2021 ngikhuluma ngomkhizo ukuthi umkhizo usazoqina impela nje. Hayi akhona ama video la ngikhuluma ngomkhizo nginamkhawulo. Hayi wathi umuntu uqamba amanga, hayi bamenza abantu emaThekwini, hayibo. Hayi siyabona sathi siyabheka naba nangapha eSoweto ngabe bayamenza. Hayi zakhala. Khona nabanye ngapha ngathi ngibuka ngathi nje bazophinda futhi bamuke futhi. Kusazoba likhulu impela ngalomkhizwana. Ningizwe kahle angilwe. Umkhizo kodwa wona usazozwela ngoba angazi ukuthi kumele kwenzakaleni ukuze abantu babone ukuthi sikuyimission la. Abantu abamendleleni, they need to step down and step aside. That's the only thing that needs to happen. Akudinga ukuthi kubanga umsindo. If it can happen peacefully without any halabaloo, izinto zingasebenza nje ukuthi sibe clean kahle kusheshe kulunge izimo. Sibuyela ngaphezulu siya kunqotshwa ezinye ingane. But I know for a fact that's not going to happen. So it's always going to be the highway with black people. So the highway is going to continue. Intsha isazoqhubeka igawulwe. Sibonile kakhulu futhi kulonyaka a lot of young people dying, various causes, a lot of shooting. Ke waqhamuka nezinja zabhoka nje izinja Nkosi yami zaluma ingane. Hey. Hi. And the sad thing about it is I had a revelation about that much earlier. Kodwa ngathi awuthi ngiyekele. Because it's very sad actually. Uthi ngiphathe kabi kakhulu ngoba it has to do with children. Angithandi but nabo bayangena kulento ugawulwa kwentsha, unfortunately. So the children also enter there, and women as well. But what's going to happen now is that you're going to see more and more women committing a lot of criminal and killing. Bantu besifazane bazobulala kakhulu. Angazi ukuthi ke izoqala nini kodwa ngiyibuyile ngathi kunefilm la ezothi abantu besimame bathanda ukubulala. It's a sign of the times, and we are going towards the nto ukuthi laba abadakwayo bazodakwa kakhulu futhi naqala. nalawo anithi amaphara kusazoba worse. It's very interesting. Now, I know that everyone is expecting me to say something about as a country, where are we heading? Is Cyril going to resign? Is Cyril coming back in? Asas. Asas. He might come back, he might not. Asas. But one thing for sure, whatever happens, the country is going to the dogs. There's going to be a lot of calamity. 2023. Expect uthi kuzoba ne-collapse. Expect another natural disaster. Ezokhanda inkinga kakhulu. Should expect this. I saw people in the group already talking a lot about a particular natural disaster that's going to happen on the west side of the country. So, nibe ready lapho kokapa. Anything can happen. It's been a very interesting year. What else was the main thing? And then we had our first annual general meeting just in Kizonini. Sizobona, and next year we'll have another one. I think but we are growing as a family. We'll probably have another camp. In Tlekakulu, went to a camp. We got to see each other and shared some ideas. Sibonke lawo makhosi ayekade ekhona. Hopefully someday amakhosi azogcotshwa abuyele endaweni yawo. Khishwe labantu abazosikhohlisa la. Aw. Uthembi usekhona. Sibona into singabazi. Sibonge nkukhu. So yeah, it was very interesting the general meeting, because we had it in a very important area and place in terms of the spirituality. Kuningi okwenzeka la sasihlanganyele khona, and we came back with a lot of interesting revelations. But what was most important is that lento seyiqalile la is now something that's covered through all the main houses obukhosi. So inhlanganyela yezindlu zobukhosi ezasocongwa zashokobezwa has taken up uMkhiswana as a vehicle to install and fix the things as they were wrong. Now, I don't know what this means for those people who are responsible, but we will see. Kuzobonakala ngezenzo. Ifilimu uzoyidlalela yona. I mean, already the film is playing. Bayakhothama abantu ngapha nangapha. Hey, kubi ziyavalwa izindlu. Ziyavalwa. Hayi bandla. Hey. Uthi abantu bayaqinisela bakunebhodo eliconzayo. Fanele bayabona manje no khona wrong la. Zovalwa izindlu. And ngiyayibona naleya kaWindsor ukuthi khona into enkulu ezokwenzeka lapha kaWindsor. Futhi nje uma singaqikelela ukuthi senze lento yangomhla 25 lapha kaWindsor zizokhala. Sengimbonile umfana uShalisa ukuthi khona isehlo somehlakalele is not going to be with us for very long. Yena ke ngeke agule kuzoba nje hey isiphihli sento. Yazi isigaxa. But let's wait and see what's going to happen. But le yamndeni yonke ama-German ngithi nje mina one day is one day. Nonke lemkhuba enaniyenza. Anyway, and you know, I'm being reminded here ukuthi it's no surprise that you find that they are Germans, because I mean, even when they decided to come here, bazohlukanisa imingcele wonke amazwe Africa, they went to Germany. They had a Berlin Conference in 18 something, was it 1888, 1887, somewhere there. They had a Berlin Conference to go and decide to divide up and cut up Africa as their own little piece of cake. Africa. So we should tell you about those Germans and who they are. What's the other thing? Yes, the thing of Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt finding the thing of those illuminated ones, the Illuminati. It's not really the Illuminati more than it's just the old order of the Druids. Ile gang a round table ka Arthur Uther being that Germanic son who worked under Romans and then founded England, but that round table of the knights of the round table, that's where the thing comes from. It's not like it was founded by Adam Weishaupt in the 1770 what. Not really. But well, he had a very important role to play there, because again, another conference, he had to call all those Europeans to remind them ukuthi kwasuka eEurope kwayewa umhlaba wonke kwakuyokwenziwani, and gave them a direction what to do. Yeah. So that's what that role of the Illuminati was. And it's not necessarily that it's an offspring of it, like a Freemason. No, a Freemason nayo yenye into nje ekhona vele. It was supposedly a way of creating a club for those people who are in the Druid sect. But yeah, it's fine. We will talk about the Freemasons much later. But they're also very key na bongoba. They like to talk a lot about the things that they get up to. I was sharing in the group le Jeffrey Hodson, where he's talking about the brotherhood of angels and men. So it's just one of those things. He has other books where he talks about the fairies and all those things. So laba, I've said it again, they know ukuthi kumele benzeni to get ahead. Babhizi bayanthakatha. Some of these things in business unethi amadlozi enu yibo laba abachanelayo so that they can possess you, to get things from you. But in sabhizi ndlala namadlozi. Umelini yebo. So I guess we can say this way. We can say those Illuminati ones are the circle of the 12 knights. Those knights with Arthur. And then Umelin is the magician. But Umelin was not by himself. The Druids were a group Gamelin. So there's that group of magicians, and then under those magicians there's a group of the ruling class, the ruling council, a round table the earth. So consequently you have people going to Berlin, leaders as Europe going to have a Berlin conference under the supervision of the upper council magicians, who don't get to be mentioned, by the way. Thanks for reminding me, actually. Merlin gets to be credited for all the other things, but mase kuhleli round table asayezwe indaba ukuthi Merlin wayenzani nabo bani. But that's just how it is. The magicians go in the background there and instruct these ones to come and do all these things. Inshallah. So one could probably say those illuminated ones could be the magicians, and then these Freemasons will be the leaders. Because Vele Lentama Freemason is usually mostly people who are prominent. All these prominent people are brought into the table to become Freemasons. And then those ones who are Illuminati are the magicians who do all the magic and tell them those things to do and instruct them to use this thing up from a ring. Which brings me to another very interesting event. Sibonile lapha bedlala amagcubana lapha kule yandlu leya. Badlala amagcubana bazibanikana namaringi, omunye wabhucwa amadoda emjiva. Hey madoda, hayi hey sibukile imhlolo eAfrika. Angifuni lana ukuyikhuluma ukuthi ke uzothi 2023 ungakapheli kube sekwenzakaleni lapha kuleli ekhaya. Indaba zabo mina ngeke into nje kufanele bayenze ukuthi fanele ngabe bazoxolisa kuso sonke isizwe, babeke phansi intambo bese siyilungisa ke thina lento ibuyele kahle endleleni yayo, ngoba bayona bavuma ukusetshenziswa ukuthi bone izinto. Angilwe, but wonke umuntu onengqondo uyefundela ihistory uyayibona into engikhuluma ngayo. No, kukhona bavuma ukusetshenziswa abelungu ngendlela engalungile, but again asikho lapho. So yes, you find ukuthi at the top there are magicians, you don't hear about them, and then you have this ruling class, the ones that you call the elite, baphethwe nabo yabo, they get told all these things to do, and you know into yakhona it should not be a surprise. So these Germans are always going to be somewhere involved in that thing. There are certain things ezihleli kulezi indawo zama-German. Ukhona le azi mangayikhuluma la, the spear of Longinus. Le umkhonto wagwaza le ndoda yayifakwe esihlahleni. It's very interesting, that one. Lo mkhonto wagwaza le ndoda, mawuyilandela istory sawo, inalento ukuthi uhamba nelokhuzane nithini kambe nesiqalekise esithile o uba nomkhokha othile. What was it kambe? Initially I think it was the Franks as well. I'm French, by the way. They're also another house of Germany, the Germanic tribe. Something about the French and that spear of Longinus and the collapse of the French kingdom. Because they had that spear of Longinus, and the idea behind it was whoever has the spear will go and conquer. But you fast forward it to Hitler. Hitler also had a very strong occultic sense, because he understood there's a magical thing, of course. So the magicians at the top, then Hitler at the bottom. They went and looked for the spear that supposedly yakwaza indoda leyo two braje. Sazi noma ku braje yini noma kwa omunye umuntu, but very interesting. So babe sithola lesi spear basithola kuphi? It was in what's that country? The first country they attacked, was it Austria or Poland? I think I called, but yes, but there was another royalty there in those Germanic tribes. Bahamba bauslanda babuya naso, and then you saw that Germany was really moving now in Europe, taking over everyone. But at the same time, the mental state of Upra Hitler was not really okay, and Waubonotono is besides himself, according to the history. There was a change that happened along the way, and he became more crazy. And here's a very interesting thing, is that they kept that spear in a town there by Bavaria, But there was a time there by Bavaria where they kept the spear. And when the Allied forces came into Germany, they didn't go to Berlin to attack. Their first place to attack these Americans was that exact place where the spear was kept. So the Americans also knew ukuthi kumele bawulandele lesa spear. So they had a strike there, ukuyolanda the spear, and I think Hitler did not expect that one because that town was not very heavily defended. He didn't expect that, they knew. But here's what I'm trying to illustrate here. Sibhekene nabantu abathakathayo, and magic is very high. Ingakho ngithi ifilimu sazodlala ke because we are not playing with them. Nina mhlambe lapho nizilibala ukushaya igubhu into ngixuma la, when the actual international things, the mysteries of the international world and the universe require something else. Busy lapho nina niyakita la imbi busy ngapha eceleni. Eventually we need to start to be people who are talking about today. Oh, konje kwakhona uShaka, kuphi umkhonto wakhe? Yabo. Eventually we need to come to that point. But kancane we'll push that mandate because siyabona ukuthi kudlalwa kancane la kubantu abamnyama. Black people are just playing, and these magicians are not even playing with us. They are very serious. Guys. They've been doing magic since day one, and it's the only way they survive. Nina lapho level okuthakatha. Stop that thing. It has nothing to do with you. Ayihlangene nani. Man busy lokhu nithakatha nina abantu abamnyama, niqinisa laba. Niyabaqinisa. No, it could be ukuthi magic was done to the blood, because angithi phela lento ithi if you look at that whole scene and you look at the language that is used, especially during the crucifixion, we must remember ukuthi it's the Romans that made the crucifixion happen. Germanic tribe. Again, you see the German there. That Roman tribe of Germany came in, and supposedly they are the ones who crucified Uprajay. But here's the thing. They don't say they were crucifying Uprajay. They don't say that. The book is very clear. What was crucified was the Christ. Now the Christ is the conning. That is the word. So the king. Now, the king of who? And they had it very clearly written out there. The king of the Jews. But one wonders, what was originally written there? King of what? And you have to look at the whole preparation. You see the preparation yakhona eyenziwayo ukuthi okay, leli ithwalo leli serious. And they are very clear about it. Well, baqala ngokuthi bamfuna ke ne. Babemthola uthiwani hayi ilo othe uyinkosi yamaJuda. Okay. But where is he ruling? What he rules, his kingdom is not of this place. His kingdom is not of this place. And then they took that and reinterpreted it as he was claiming that his kingdom is not of this world. But that man was saying, no, actually I'm not from here. So they took a king from somewhere else. I wonder where. And then the second thing that happens there is another preparation. uBrabal Pilato laphana takes a bowl of yamanzi, ageza izandla. Now, here's a very interesting thing. When the Jews, nalabantu bakaShembe, when they are about to slaughter an animal, bageza izandla ngamanzi. Follow. Right. When he's done doing that, uyathathwa, ne? Bayathathwa uyobekwa la kubekwa khona ezinye ibusho. And then apparently these soldiers decide, oh no, I think firstly Pilato decides, no man, no, I shower. Right? I shower again. Apparently he is beaten until he bleeds out, and his skin and his flesh of his blood, because they use this very interesting whip that has hooks on them. So okay. Now that is very, very important, that one, because that was not what he was tortured. Now one wonders what was the purpose of the torture. Now labantu abagangile laba abakhanda imkhovu, they know ukuthi when befuna ukukhova, they will torture that particular spirit or person to break iwili yakhe, or even to make them angry beyond. So it's either they are making the dangerous mkova or they're making a docile mkova. It's up to them. I don't know the science of them. I'm not interested. But I can see ukuthi hamba plento. So that's another part. Mabeqeda lapho, what do? Khona lento ethi these soldiers decide to go and play around. Bafaka umqhele wameva. Now here's the thing. In that book, it's very interesting. In that book, they literally know every single tree. Asikho isihlahla singazange nembali engazange nje ibalwe ukuthi no man, lo kwakumthini, lo kwakuwemuti, lo kwakumhe, kwakubantwana. They were very clear in that book. They knew all the trees. But mase kufika lese lukhuzana somqhele wameva. How? Akusashiwo ukuthi manje kwakuyisihlahla sani lesi. Kodwa na umkhiwana athi ubona nje izolo. And then you go to that region and you look for isihlahla esinameva. Hey man, asitholakali. It's very interesting. But thina isihlahla ezinameva siyazazi. Zikhona la eAfrica. And they do a particular work spiritually. So it's not going to be a surprise if we told ukuthi this sihlahla esasetshenziswa lapho probably was umlahlankosi. Probably to capture umzimba isoul yakhe ukuthi ingabaleki. I mean, otherwise, why is umkhova kanjani if you don't capture the soul from leaving the body? You will understand, we must figure later when I finish the story exactly where that came in. So, bamfaka umntwana wameva. Okay, bamfaka ingubo. Base bamparade, bamfaka iplaque lapha ukuthi here's the king of the Jews. Oh. So they're saying uyinkosi. Okay. Now, what is most interesting is that through all of this, ngiyachazeka ngoba you find this kind of nature abantu abashintsha. You see, nina nithanda kakhulu leke ngabelungu. Nithi mase nigijima nabo nabangane abakhulu nahlukana nabantu abanyama nabazonda nabona ningcono nama clever blacks. Once nagaxela. Hey, bayaniphika abelungu ngathi amanasi. Salu wedwa. So there's another man who was left by himself amongst people angabas. No one came out. I mean, they couldn't even pick up umnqamlezo to help him. And then that's why they would come in and say, abantu laba bamnyama, but you know, that Joseph of Arimathea was a black man who helped Jesus to carry the cross. Suddenly, that one black man who will carry a cross for another black man. But there's a particular person, there's a king who was black who has done this too. So I say Jesus ubese ngena phi kuyo yonke lenye of them. But there's a Chris. Igama elithi Christus. I think it's Rome. It's Greek. It's a Greek word for one who is anointed. Umgcotshwa. And amakhosi ayagcotshwa. Now, etymologically, it comes from a Greek word. It's a very old Greek word, but yeah. Yazi ukuthi ama-Greek nama-Romans pretty much the same. And here's a very interesting thing is that this translation of this thing, of this word Christos, does not go to the Hebrew Messiah. It's not the same. They don't mean the same thing. You know. But you find ukuthi through the use of language over the years, abantu bezenzela ukuthanda kwabo, trying to validate lento Christianity, they will take a meaning of the word and try to make it seem as if it means something else. It doesn't. It is not related to, even by any form. I mean, you look at the etymology of the word, they are not even related. You know, abahlangan. It's just derived to mean something that it doesn't. Anyway. So these soldiers, they play the game, and then he was made to carry the cross. Waqhamuka nomunye ubra wakhe wathi wena uyafana nalo, phatha lento, wamphathela ke wambeka lapha nake entabeni where he was now stabbed. Before he's stabbed, he's made to drink vinegar. Which, by the way, is that it wasn't vinegar. It was oiled wine. Wine esel Martin. As noma ungakubiza ukuthi sele flat noma sele injani. But I think vinegar is also a product of old wine somehow, somewhere. Engenwa umoya for too long. So he was made to drink that. So it's not exactly vinegar that it was made to drink. It was that kind of stale wine. And now take a note of that wine element, because they go to church by opposite wine and then say this blood was clean. But you must remember, uthi indaba ne wine and the Greek gods. Look up who's the Greek god of wine. Ngiyakhuluma last week here ukuthi you can take the story uphinde futhi ubibone inhlesana lapha na Odysseus Dionysus. That probably was Dionysus somewhere there. Nesandla Dionysus kuleyanto. So this wine to yaphuza, okay, phuza wine there, and then they stab him. When they stab him, to kuphuma amanzi negazi. Okay, and again blood and water. Blood and water. That's interesting. So many people who are using blue, not red, in their flags in Europe. It's very interesting, that one. But so, and then he goes to be buried. And then 3 days later, we have Vuka. Now, remember Tegu, I wouldn't be surprised if this Slashla that was used as a crown of thorns was Umlahlangos, because here's a man who wakes up 3 days later. So that would mean ukuthi I process your cover over 3 days. Babuya bazomlanda. And then he was walking around as Umkov. By the way, wakhona nebigile in this mix. But it still remains ukuthi who is this Christos, this Inkosi, this Koning? Who is this Koning that was done this to? Consequently, leso lowo mkhonto uhamba nesiqalekiso. La uhamba khona, because there's a very few things emhlabeni ezisiqalekiso kubelungu ezisebenzayo, but except for la mkhonto. La mkhonto seems to be very strong iqalekiseni abelungu. La ukhona impela ushaya impela ucaca impela ya destroy. So they're keeping it in a museum, and it moves around like that. So nobody keeps that spear for too long. And I wouldn't be shocked if right now it's circulating between America and all those other countries. You see. So anyway, so that's a story of that spear. It's very interesting. So we are dealing with abantu abathakathaya who know very well what they're doing. And ngasho ngathi le ncwadi le emnyamana ncwadi yamathwalo le. If you read it properly and understand it, there's a magic that's been happening, you will see ama passages la kukhanya khona sekathakathwa ke la. The language is very, very clear. And it is also very simple. But the meaning isn't. And even a baby can understand the language that is used there. But the meanings are very, very deep. Now, how interesting story. Story has something else. It's double that which is. So yes, a kalang. But yes, so that's 2022 in a nutshell. We shall see ukuthi kwenzakala in 2023. It's been very interesting. It's been very hectic. Kuzoba nzima kakhulu lo nyaka ozayo. Simbonile uPutin wenze imanga. I can't say ukuthi I'm angry at Putin. I think Putin should carry on or step it up if he can. It's fixing the planet. It's cartel. He must do very well to fix the planet, to Putin. Ngoma phela ebo how sayisavelelo how hi. So let's just buckle up for 2023. and be ready for anything. If you have savings, make sure that you keep your savings, you don't waste. Bengizothi mina kulo December ningadli kakhulu imali, nizoyidinga kulo nyaka ozayo, sizokhala, sizoyidinga ngempela, especially if put in steps up into zakhe, sizoyidinga ngempela imali. You will need every cent. Bengizothi nje ningayidli kakhulu imali, angazi kodwa phela imali yena ngizothini, but i-outlook looks like soba ngcono ukuthi nigcine imali zenu, soba ngcono. Anyway, that's it for today. Izophinda ibonana. I'm going to say ukuthi hopefully I'm hoping which it's not going to be too soon, but it looks like ukuthi now for 2023 uzana lento ethi we'll have very little time to do ama videos or go live. I mean, we already have difficulty making ama videos. That's why we have to go live, because when you're doing ama videos, you have to do ama editing and do all kinds of things, and then upload them. That takes a lot of your time. So we already don't have enough time to do ama videos. We can only do ama lives, because it's much better. Now, okay, I think it's going to be very far and few between who interact here on this platform. It's not like I'm going anywhere, but I think I've said it many times ukuthi isikhathi sokuloku sikhuluma nani sizoncipha, ngoba ngasho ngathi I wanted to do this thing ngingakabi busy kakhulu, because once umuntu gets into that rhythm of generating wealth and doing important things that he wants to do, isikhathi sokuxoxa indaba and explaining the thought process is going to be minimal. And if izinto zohamba kahle, like, you will never find me doing ama talks. So to I nango with Forbes list, no, you're not gonna find me with Forbes list. You're not gonna find me holding, no. You're missing a piece. I don't have time for talking. For now, we have those moments. Okay, we can talk. Yeah. But once I'm busy pushing whatever I'm pushing, I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish. And talking to you, kuzoba nesikhathi, kunesikhathi sayo sesiyaphela. So mase siphelile ke, I will also say, I will come and say, okay guys, engathi sikabheda ke, it's been good, but for now let's hope it doesn't happen too soon, though, because there's still a lot of information that we need to share. I can see that there's a lot of information that we still need to share. There's still a lot of information that I've already shared that I need to re-explain slowly. That's why I'm hoping things, well, I do hope things move fast, but I hope that it's not too fast. Singakwazi drop a few more things before we go. Otherwise, that's it. Ho ho ho.